be taking a step back from marathons. Okay, here's breakfast. Same usual thing. It is also just about to hit 6:30. I need to be at the start by 8, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Good morning. It is the morning of London Marathon. I'm drinking my coffee, which I realized is the cup that someone who follows me made from last year's London Marathon. So kind of cute. But what wasn't cute is someone right outside our flat at 3:30 a.m. blasting music from their car and yapping. So we didn't sleep very well, but I'm gonna drink this coffee and maybe have a second. And yeah, it's 6:30 and I need to start getting ready because I need to be at the start by 8. And we have hospitality with New Balance, which is really cool and something that I've never had in like any marathon race. So I'm going to show you what that's like. And yeah, basically just means that we have like our own space, toilets, everything, which is like so privileged and so like, yeah, so it's going to be nice and I'm going to take you along, but first let's go and get ready. Okay, once again, we've got a bit of a silly angle for my outfit, but we've got these shorts that have pockets all over. I've got an air tag behind me because I'm not gonna bring my phone, but I will be bringing just this small bit of the Insta360. Just got this and I'm just gonna carry it in my pocket and hopefully just pull it out to film. So I'm not gonna run with my phone, but top is this cute little New Balance top. I feel like my bib is taped or pinned on very funny. And then we do have some face freckles, which went on so well, and I'm obsessed. And then I've got a little New Balance ribbon in my hair, sunglasses for when it will inevitably get warm and the sun comes out, but it looks like the sun's actually gone behind the clouds. So we'll see if I actually end up bringing them. But that's kind of my outfit. And then I've got my shoes in my bag that I'm gonna bring with me. But we're gonna get ready to go in about 15 minutes and I'm just gonna write some stuff on my hands, some mantras and stuff, but I think we're just about nearly ready. I wrote, "Why not you?" on my hand, and just like that, it's 7:30 and time to go. I start in 2 hours exactly. To Manchester, where it's
and face the direction of travel.
Hello.
Just to cheer up, it's just if you've got
once
one
again,
baby.
there is.
Where is yellow? Is it just over there?
Straight.
Okay.
Oh, we got some hot air balloons.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. Have a great race. Yeah.
I
Good
love
luck.
you. Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye.
Okay, we're heading to hospitality. Should be pretty cool.
Vlog inception.
Your stars look so cool.
Thank you. I've got an extra if you want.
I don't want to, you know, try nothing new. But it looks really cool.
I got ribbon lip.
Yeah.
Literally matches so perfectly.
I saw on your story that you had it, and I was like, I should have messaged you and said, could you bring the red one for me?
No, I honestly was like, I'll bring it just in case. So I was like, I'll bring glitter, I'll bring ribbons, if anyone needs them. Okay, it's 9:03. We're having a little jelly. I think that's recording.
I don't think I'm gonna need to take.
I'm not taking it.
Test. There's some elites running and warming up along here. We need to go to the toilet, but we've officially switched over. No phone. About 9:20, so we're starting in like 25 minutes.
Left in the famous leg, Eliud Kipchoge.
Yeah. We're about over a 5K in, almost to 4 miles.
In front.
Not bad, but we're almost there. That was so hard.
Thank you.
That was my slowest and hardest marathon.
Mareado, ¿eh? Un poquito mareado. ¡Hey! 6 rounds! All the way through there. Well done. Why you saying?
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get through this race recap without crying because I've cried a lot today. But somehow the sparkles have stayed on. I ran the London Marathon. It was my 4th time. It was my 10th marathon. I had a really good block coming into this. I felt really confident and I felt like I was really trying to go in with no pressure. I shared that I wanted to, like, the most amazing thing could be that I just go sub 3:30. I felt really great in the beginning. And like coming into 10K and Cutty Sark was great. And I just like, I feel like that first 10K, I was like, I can't believe I'm running marathon pace. And then it feels like, I can't believe I'm running marathon pace and then it feels this easy. And I'm literally going off feel. It started to get hot and we had the sun in our faces, like all around the Canada Water Loop, the Rotherhithe Loop which was hard, and I misstepped on some uneven pavement, and like my whole foot like rolled, and it was my left foot, but I can't lift that up. But like I just felt like the entire like front of my foot hit the ground. I feel like I was still doing a good job of fueling. I brought salt sticks with me. I was feeling okay, and like I didn't feel horrible at 13 miles going across Tower Bridge like I did last year. And yeah, it was just like, I think that stretch after you've done Tower Bridge, and around mile 14 to 16 was kind of when I started to feel the pace go, and I was struggling, and I always question in these marathons and in these races when I'm having a bad race. I always wonder, like, is it just better that I just step off the course? And because I know I'm not going to do well. I know I'm not gonna, because the cramps were coming, even though I was taking salt sticks, and by the end I was in a lot of pain from the cramps. And I don't know, I get in my head sometimes because I know so many people that ended up DNFing today, and I'm not saying that like that's the easy way out. I know that that's an incredibly hard decision to make. I just think that sometimes I am really hard on myself, and I tell myself to keep going, that I want to show myself that I can do hard things, and like that's what I was saying to myself. I also am just really hard on myself, and that I don't let myself stop in the marathon. And I think that was something that I maybe took away from today, is like, maybe you could have stopped even just to like walk through the aid stations. They were handing out ice, and I did manage to get ice, but like from, I don't know, I'd say from like mile 10 on, I was grabbing 2 bottles, one to pour all over me, one to drink. It was so hot. I ran under every single hose that was spraying water. And it really, and like, because of all the water, like my headphones got all jacked up, so I turned off my music at mile 15, and I was just like, I'm literally just gonna go off of the crowd, which I'm really, really grateful that London has such incredible crowds. But yeah, I think that like around Canary Wharf, I kind of felt like I was just like, I really hit a wall, and you can see it in my pace. And I really debated stepping off until I ran into my friend Ross, who also was struggling, and so we kind of struggled together for a little bit, so that was nice. And then he went to go and help someone else, and I kind of felt like I had like a second wind in me or something, and I felt like suddenly I could start taking my gels again because my stomach was just kind of going. And once I hit mile 20, I knew that I was about to see so many of my friends and groups and people, and so I just told myself to keep going. And I actually think that like the salt stick chews were kind, like, I wish that I'd brought more, because I was taking them pretty often throughout, and once I ran out around like mile 22, by like around then, I was just like full body cramps, and I was getting a lot of weird pelvic cramps in the beginning of my race. I don't know if that's TMI, but it's a weird thing that's happened in 2 marathons now, and I don't know if it has anything to do with like the marathon falling around my time of the month. But around mile 23 or 24, I had like a big cramp in my shoulder, at the same time my ribs, and it was really hard to breathe, and I really had to try and control my breathing. And yeah, I was just trying to tell myself to get to the finish, and I finished in a time of 3:46:07, and I know that before I say anything, that is a respectable time, and like I know that people will always tell me like that's my dream time, that like I would be so proud of that time. So like I'm not trying to take away from that time. That is just my slowest time in over 2 years. So a lot to reflect on, and I know that the weather had a lot to do with it, but I crossed the finish, and I don't even know how the clips came out, but I was just like, I couldn't stop crying. I was uncontrollably crying because I had to fight so hard to get myself to that finish. Sorry. And it was just a really tough day out. I know that it was a tough day out for so many people. I know of so many people at DNF, which is like so sad to me because some of those people are people that I really look up to, and I know that, you know, at the same time, I know of a few friends who got their PBs and had a, you know, decent day out, and I think to PB in that condition is incredible. But for me, going forward, I think that I'm going to be taking a step back from marathons because it's just felt like the past 3 now, I sort of have a similar experience, and it's just not nice. And it's really hard to have a race like that, I think, after such a good training block. I think last year my training was sort of all over the place because of personal life stuff. But this really, I felt so strong. I thought the runner strength thing was like really helping me, and I really thought that this was going to be it. But I'm going to take a step back from marathons because I think that I just need to, you know, I said that I was going to work on other distances, and I am excited for that. And but it kind of feels like me and running right now, I just need some time. And I'm just so full of emotions after the race, and I just wanted to share that because, you know, on one hand, someone might look at me crying on the internet and think that that's stupid. But on the other hand, you know, it just shows that I care, and I do care so much about running. I love it so much, and I love sharing it with you guys. And I know that, you know, I just started like crying before when I hit record because I posted an Instagram post video just kind of explaining a similar thing, but right after the race, and just like the amount of comments that just started flooding in of like the kindest people saying the kindest things was just like made me so emotional. So thank you for following along this journey to my 10th marathon. I ticked it off. The medal is pretty cool. It's really heavy, but I am actually really pleased that I got myself to the finish, and I feel like I really earned this, even though it wasn't my goal time at all. And, you know, it doesn't mean that my goal, my dream is over. I hope that I'm able to offer the running world and the internet a different side to the content creation world, because it's hard. It feels like everyone is always doing really well and just continuing to persevere in their times and stuff. And I just want to show that this Boston qualifier is really it's really taking some time, but I know that I'll get there. I know that I will. But until then, I'm gonna take a little break, and I might do maybe more of a thorough recap video next week once I have had some time to digest everything. But I'm sorry that this was like almost 10 minutes of me crying and attempting to give a race recap, but I really appreciate everyone that subscribes and watches and likes all of the videos. I really love YouTube. It feels like this nice safe side of the internet where I can just kind of talk and share my real thoughts. So I've really enjoyed sharing like every race, every PB that I have had up until now. But yeah, it's not over. I just need some time to breathe and digest a bit. But I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video.